And good morning. Let's get this show on the road started. Maybe I'll press that one. I am Jay Cleveland Payne, and this is things you might have heard. A little extra Ron D on here to keep things started for the morning. Hi, how's it going? Jay Cleveland Payne, things you might have heard. We're gonna give you in just a moment 9 stories. Yes, I crammed one in there because I just could not get one in there. It just hurt my heart so bad. 9 news stories from the past 30 hours that you deemed as conversational from the tops of the list, and you did that by engaging in stories we posted all day long on our social media feeds. We'll get deeper into that a little bit later, tell you how you get a chance to choose your own adventure, if you will, for the stories going on. And yes, we're going to talk about Ron DeSantis. And while last night was the chance to get his campaign started, it really turned to let's get retarded very, very quickly. It's getting really awkward, although it's already been awkward with Mr. DeSantis. Your preferred bad slang name can be added here as well. But we're going to get into the stories we have here. As I said, 9 stories today to go through from the most conversations, including sad tributes, sad love giving, but sadly haven't given it at this point on Tina Turner and more. Plus the fun stuff, including birthdays and the one thing you might not have learned. And today's one, if you're single, you might want to listen to. We're going to give you that note right now. So if you want more information about what we do overall, check out our website. This is theconversationproject.com for more details about all the things we offer and how we offer up conversational topics and conversational ways to chat things up that way. But for right now, let's get into the actual meat and potatoes of the show and get to the news stories. Today is Wednesday, May 24th, 2023. Here are your top stories as vetted by you, but curated by me. 9 today. We snuck one extra in there, so bear with us. We'll have to kind of make it move today. Starting off with the first story, the top story, unfortunately, what we're talking about. This was not, of course, a top story by votes. We'll explain those 1 and 2 when we get there. But the big thing that everybody's talking about right now, because no one wants to talk about them regardless, is Twitter's technical issues crash Ron DeSantis' 2024 campaign announcement. Now, we know the campaign announcement was meant for Twitter Spaces. Now, this got really weird and complicated early on. Number one, he had the news going on earlier in the day when he filed his paperwork officially, so people jumped on that story. Number two, when the thing launched, he had a video that went out about an hour before this thing happened, so they had that story. Then this thing went live, and for 26 minutes, it didn't work. There were crashes. People couldn't log into it. People couldn't hear Ron DeSantis. And at one point, Ron kind of got bored and went off and did something else, came back. After 26 minutes of, Elon Musk breaking the internet, it came on. It happened. And what it turned out to be was not a one-on-one talk between Ron DeSantis and Elon Musk, which, of course, would have been terrible. It was a 5-on-1 talk with Ron DeSantis being sort of interviewed with canned responses from various other people who were friendly to him. And it was horrible. And it was terrible. And nobody liked it at all. And they were pretty upset they waited 26 minutes just to get to it. Then he went on Fox News, and then he went on Mark Levin, and then he did all of the traditional stuff. But it was kind of let's just call it what it was, an S show to be done to do this thing. Donald Trump, on his other social media platform, Truth Social, harped out as well. The Biden campaign said, well, you know what? This link works. Why don't you click on it and send us some money? It was laughs all around. Ron DeSantis not doing well in the initial parts of actually running for president, although when he wasn't actually running, everybody loved him. We'll see how long the love lasts when he actually pulls it in. Oh, he does says he actually wants to debate. So he says he wants to go one-on-one with Mr. Trump. I don't think he really does. Our next story. This was actually the top vote getter, the top responsive story for the day. Local sheriff says Ja Morant is fine after performing wellness check on Grizzlies star. So Ja Morant has been indefinitely suspended from the NBA. It happened on Sunday, May 14th, after a video of showing him flashing a gun for the second time appeared, and this being his second suspension. On the 16th of May, he let out a statement saying he's responsible for his own stuff. He's sorry what's going on. Deputies went to check on Ja yesterday, or maybe Sunday, and the residents at his residence, and he said he's fine. He just said he's backing away from social media for a while, which is probably a very good thing. So that's why a lot of people have not heard from him since he's just chilling at the house. We will see how this thing plays out in detail going forward with basketball wrapping up. There'll be some times there are some cool down in the actual ball games being played. And then, of course, the summer we dealt with all the, customer service and type videos of things just to keep people relevant, keep people knowing what's going on. We'll see what they do to keep Ja in the news or sometimes out of the news for the summer, reaching up to the start of the season. Sad, sad, sad. Tina Turner, unstoppable superstar whose hits included What's Love Got to Do With It, dead at 83. Now, we are saddened because we have lost a legend, a queen of rock and roll, a true person who literally brought joy and love to the world with her voice. Fighting tragedy from a bad contract and a bad marriage, coming back on her own a decade later and just taking the world by storm at the age of like 43. I think she came out with What Love's Got to Do With It, the album, at 43 after leaving Ike from his tour then. We are saddened by the loss of Tina Turner, of course, born in poverty and living up to her last days in a large estate in Switzerland because she loved Switzerland and loved her husband, loved what's going on there. Going on having a long-standing illness, so she's not been well for a while. So we are pleased that she no longer has to deal with pain and suffering. But because we're selfish, we're not so pleased that we no longer have Tina Turner to talk about her for quite some time. I have been waiting all day and for today because I can't wait to hear the tributes to Tina Turner that be brought up on the radio stations and what's going on in the news as well. Because it takes time to pull these things together. She was not one they had a package ready for because they knew she was ill but did not know what was happening. But the music and the just greatness of her stuff. I listened to satellite radio in the 80s on 8 and 90s on 9, and so I know with a day or so to reprogram their programming to make it relevant, they're going to be doing Tina Turner all over the place, and hopefully they'll get a Tina Turner channel spun up within the weekend, because I can't tell you how great it'd be to have Memorial Day weekend and spend the weekend grilling in my oven, because I can't put a grill in my apartment complex, listen to Tina Turner in the background. That would be amazing. Tina Turner, long with us, shortly without us, and we'll have to live with that. Gone at the age of 83. Not quite gone, not quite sure why. We'll see what happens when her election comes up. But Kyrsten Sinema goes on Fox News and hits Biden on the border. This is a story that's a bit old. It's been kind of floating around, so it's a later earlier edition from the far end. But Kyrsten Sinema, the senator from Arizona, who is now independent because she doesn't think she can win as a Democrat because Republicans win everything over there, is fighting for her political life, and so she's doing more hits on Fox News and the Newsmax and those people to apply and be something more of a conservative icon, someone they can live with. Much like Joe Manchin, who's a Democrat, who is sort of fighting for his life, but stays as a Democrat, but people sort of vote for him. So Kyrsten Sinema came in as a Democrat in Arizona in a pretty red situation, and right now realizes that a D on her back is not a good thing. So she's going on to the Fox News. She's going on to panels. She's talking about Biden and showing how the border is a bad thing. She's a border state senator, so she knows what's going on and she has some actual insight. But she's also not playing with her team, although technically she's independent. So she sort of left the team to do her own thing. We're going to see how the senator, being Sinema, will be able to handle her reelection coming up in the next cycle, I believe, and what happens going forward in Arizona, and just sort of the crazy that is what's going on in politics in general. Now, 9 stories. We snuck 2 stories in on this one because they were seriously related and really, really sad, to be honest. Let's go with the headlines, and then we'll go deeper into the actual stories. Headline number 1, Yellowstone baby bison put to death after visitor picks it up, leading herd to reject it. Headline 2, Miami Zoo deeply sorry for mistreating kiwi bird after video shows visitors petting it. People touching animals they shouldn't be touching. What's going on? Now, we had a story, or at least I saw a story within the last couple of weeks. I don't know if we actually posted it or not, but it was relevant when it was like, what do you know? About debunking the myth that if you touch a baby bird, this mother will reject it. This is something that essentially isn't exactly true, or not exactly as true as it's led to be. Just touching it and the scent of your hands being on the bird makes them go away. Apparently, this debunks that debunkment, for at least for mammals or bison, because park officials had to kill a newborn bison because the herd just did not want to go back to it or let it back in after a man basically got out the river and picked him up and petted him and had pictures going forward. 1, please don't touch the bison. 2, they're very dangerous, so please don't touch the bison. And 3, hey yo, please don't touch the bison. Now the kiwi. Let's talk about that. The Miami Zoo is apologizing for the mistreatment. The New Zealand kiwi are a symbol of New Zealand's wildlife and, of course, a treasure for people. And video surface of visitors going there and petting the zoo, which is a nocturnal bird, in the light, basically in the daytime, just touching the bird, bothering it while it should be sleeping. Zoo said they're going to put up a new barrier to keep people out of it, and that Paora, the bird itself, is normally kept out of public view and in a quiet area, but because they're rebuilding and things aren't quite what they seem, was able to be in this general area, and people were able to reach out and pet the cute little kiwi, which is not what you should do with cute little kiwis. Number 1, don't pet kiwis. Number 2, kiwis are kind of precious, so don't pet them. And number 3, hey yo, don't pet the kiwi. Now, this guy petting is probably a real issue for, and it's Andrew Tate. His lawyer says he stopped thinking Romania was corrupt. Now, here's a story of a not so lovely fella. Andrew Tate and his brother are having issues in Romania. They were arrested for a whole sorts of nasty things that they've been doing. Here's the deal about them going to Romania. Tate said he moved there. He thought he'd be safe there because Romania was, in his mind, at least in his dreams, his imagination, a corrupt place, a place that was lawless. There was, all the movies have, a bunch of gangsters, mobsters running the show in the background. So Tate thought he can go there and kind of get away with stuff. He effed up, and he found out that's not exactly the case. He is, of course, still arrested or still being charged. I think he's actually out at the moment, but he picked up for a whole lot of things, including trafficking and endangerment and all sorts of stuff that influencers that want to show their alpha males tend to do. Although they actually don't do that, but some people think that's what they do. But of course, like we said, he effed up and found out Romania is not so corrupt, and he is awaiting a whole bunch of stuff on his end. Also awaiting a whole bunch of stuff on his end for legalities. Shaquille O'Neal served with 2 complaints at a Miami Heat game. He was served with 2 complaints while broadcasting Tuesday night's game between the Miami Heat and Boston Celtics. The NBA legend had the processor server kicked out of the venue after being served, of course, because you can't be offering up, lawsuits while he's on TV. The second complaint accuses the TNT analyst of violating federal security laws and failing to follow through on his promises to always be around. This is dealing with a whole bunch of FTX, a whole bunch of crypto, as many of the actors and sports authorities and the influencers who were pushing crypto and FTX specifically are now being served as parts of lawsuits for all the money that was pumped in by them because they were endorsers, and all the money that was lost for crypto and FTX in particular being a bad bet. And this next story, the final story for this morning, is actually the second top story engagement for the day. The Ja Morant story was about 40% of all engagement over the day, so that many people were into that one. This one was 10, so a lot of people into the top stories. This one was an interesting one, and this is one that we all basically as parents eventually have to face, though maybe not quite in this sort of situation here. Mom revokes teen's daughter's car privileges over driving with both feet. So a young girl got a driver's license. She passed her test. She's all good and gravy. And then her ex-husband finds out that she's driving around, with both feet, like putting 2 feet on the gas. Because it is. And of course, the dad's like, no, don't do that. Fix that. And the kid's like, but it doesn't really hurt. Doesn't really matter. And then her mom took her car away and went on Reddit for am I an a-hole discussion on what's going on. The consensus, she's not an a-hole. Her kid is. As it should be. Let's go to our teaser story for today. This is a news story that we could talk about tomorrow, should you deem this one worthy of the Chit Chat. And that's simple. You just go to our feeds on Facebook and Twitter and tell me this is how you want to talk about, or what you want to talk about, how you want to talk about it, by engaging in this story or any story we post. Every 50 minutes, new stories are posted on our feeds. Go to facebook.com/thisisaconversationproject and twitter.com/th_conversation. Yeah, I know, dying platforms, yada, yada, go, all that stuff. But it's the easiest way for us to interact with folks because older people are still stick to the Facebook. And some people, even though people are leaving because of that Elon Musk guy, are still using Twitter for their way to connect to folks and get information. even very bad launches for presidency. But this is a headline that you might want to get into. Our teaser story for today, I ended up cutting off the headline in the top. So I have to look over to my other notes and see what I have. Don't have it. Well, I'm going to read it from the news story part that got clipped there. The big deal is Meta Platforms Inc., owner of Facebook, slashed jobs across the business and operations units on Wednesday as it carried out its last batch of three-part rounds of layoffs, part of a plans announced in March to eliminate 10,000 roles. So essentially, they've knocked down their 10,000 heads at this point in time and looking for some restructuring at the Meta, i.e. the Facebook, which I brought up already. So if you want to talk more about this, you can do it by going to the Facebook, clicking on this link for the story and engaging in it, or the Twitter, and do the same thing there as well. We're going to go to our sponsor slide for the day because we've got to keep things going, got to keep the lights on here in the studio, and we got to make sure that we're offering you great news stories and great other stuff, fun stuff coming up soon, I promise. Flowers fast may not help Ron DeSantis, but if you need to get flowers to someone fast, some sort of gift, some sort of last minute thing, Flowers Fast can possibly help. You go through Flowers Fast through our affiliate link at thisistheconversationproject.com/flowersfast, and you can get your flowers, same day, possibly. Why? Because they are connected to the FTD floral network. And so you put in an order early and they can get it to a florist that can make sure there's an order out for that middle day or afternoon. It's that fast. Or if you have plenty of time to work with it, you put in your order and take your time. You can get there when it needs to be there. They have FTD floral arrangements. They have all the different gifts things they have, the foodie things they got. Go to Flowers Fast and get yourself out of trouble. Maybe now, maybe tomorrow. Keep those in your pocket because it can help you out. Stop by our main website and look at the sponsors page for more of our sponsors to help keep us on the air, if you will. But if you want to get to Flowers Fast directly, go to thisistheconversationproject.com/flowersfast. This is an affiliate link, so we get a kickback from you paying for your flowers, but it costs you nothing extra. We're just bringing you in the door, so it's our bit of a change from getting you in there. But check them out. They can take care of you. They may be your next floral arrangement buddy at Flowers Fast. The Conversation Project lives at thisistheconversationproject.com, where we provide for you this thing here, which is the things you might have heard, video, audio, podcast, however you're picking it up, and other things that go along with conversational news topics, ways to put the news into your ears, your eyes, your venue, and to talk about things with various people you might not rub up against with. So we are proud to be able to do this, and this is just a weird sort of fetishish type news site that grew into a couple things of me wanting to get better news coverage, me not liking the news coverage that is out there in general, so trying to get deeper into the news and pay for all the efforts. And so if you want to help us literally pay for the efforts that we're doing, you think the effort is great and people are getting stuff out of this, go to our website, thisistheconversationproject.com, and click on the partnerships page and find a way that you believe will help you partner up with us so we can do more great things, because we want to do more great things. We still need to hire full time some more help to make some things happen, things on time, and be more pithy, if you will. More time for writing would make this thing much, much faster, oddly enough. More time to write and edit makes the actual product goes faster. Stop by the website for more details on how to sign up for all of our other projects, see our other videos and podcasts. Sign up for the TikTok. TikTok is off the chain, as we used to say like 20 years ago. So maybe it's not quite off the chain now because that's not what they say, but it is what it is. So we're on TikTok, we're on YouTube, we're on Twitter, we're on the Instagram, trying to do more stuff there. Find all of the places we are via our website and see how well we're doing, and let us know how we're doing by email me at theconversationinbox@gmail.com or directly at jclevelandpayne@gmail.com. Now it's time to have some fun. We're not going to move our bodies all night long, but we are going to talk about some birthdays on the day. Happy birthday. Bad birthday. Happy freaking birthday. May 25th birthdays include Sir Ian McKellen. Make sure you put some respect on his name. 84 years old on the day. Happy birthday to Gandalf. Also, Frank Oz, the legendary puppeteer from the Muppets, is 79 years old today. He's been entertaining kids and adults for quite a long time. We're definitely showing him some love, give him some flowers on this birthday, the 79th for him. And let's acknowledge Roman Reigns, the current Universal World Heavyweight Unified Champion in the WWE. Hold it so long and the storyline's so good, they had to make up another title to give it to somebody else because he just, it's just so good to root against this guy. Turning 38 years old on this day. Acknowledge him and the bloodline on this birthday for Roman Reigns. And okay, his actual name is Joe. On this day in history, back in 1787, on the 25th of May, in Pennsylvania, Philadelphia to be exact, delegates convened on a constitutional convention to write a new constitution for the United States. George Washington presided, of course. There you go. Started work on that constitution. How's that going for us right now? In 1977, Star Wars hit movie theaters and people were put into the shock and awe of the universe that was the George Lucas Star Opera with Luke Skywalker and Han Solo, Princess Leia, of course Ben Kenobi turning Obi-Wan, and of course Darth Vader. And in 1986, Hands Across America took place. I remember Hands Across America. We had some sort of weird thing. We'll get that in a second. 7 million kids, 7 million people joined hands to raise money for the nation's homeless. Now, at the time of Hands Across America, there was I lived in Georgia on an army base, and so we really couldn't put hands across America and reach out to anybody ever. In fact, we were kind of wondered how they would reach out across the Grand Canyon and stuff like that, because how many people can actually reach across America. It was literally just groups of people in various places with long lines together. We had our own little Hands Across America somewhere across the soccer field where we got a bunch of the kids from the local schools here on base. We held hands, we sang the songs, and we went back to school. That was our part of Hands Across America. This is one of those things that's been I guess, pushed away in the Gen X lifestyle. Those things that sort of happen, you sort of remember, hey, didn't that thing happen? It did. On May the 25th in 1986, Hands Across America was a thing. And it was a pretty big thing at the time. So it was up with people. But, the times, they do a change, of course. Let's celebrate today on the 25th of May. Winos everywhere. Get your wine out, get your wine glasses, get out your tumblers, get out your red Solo cups. It's wine day. Whatever wine you want, go for it. And maybe if it's not wine, screw it. Tell them it's wine anyway. Sip, gulp, however you want to do it. Open a bottle, open a box, do what you need to do. Get one of those little prepackaged things that you pull the top off and just kind of sip as you go on. Give those coolers you take from camping for wine drinking, because you have to have a special wine glass for camping. Today is a day to celebrate wine. Get you one glass. One glass. Don't overindulge. Overindulge tomorrow. But today, celebrate the day that is Wine Day with one glass of your favorite. Just one. And one more thing you might not have heard. Nice shoes, clean cut clothes, well-groomed facial hair. Once all these artificial coverings are stripped away, what exactly about a man is attracted to a woman? A study revealed it's all about the length of their legs. Gotcha. A study published in the Royal Society Open Science, something like that, shared that women are programmed to select healthy male specimen, and one good indicator of that is the proportions of his body. Researchers measured the body proportions of 9,000 men in the U.S. military. They used the data to generate computer simulation of an average male body. When it comes to legs, hearts would race as they look to be close to half the male's figure's height. So it's not so much your height, although that's the excuse I always got, but it's literally the length of your legs in comparison to your body. So if you have like really, really long legs and a short torso, you don't look fit. But if you have, the whole thing in proportion, and you're at least 6'2", because for some reason girls that are 5'3" want to date 6'2" guys, that's what makes it work out. Not bitter at all. Not bitter at all. No, not bitter at all. Today has been Thursday, May 25th, 2023, and it still is as I speak these words. Thank you so much for joining us for the show on this day, being a part of the melee that is getting this thing on the air and getting it, broadcast or whatever. A much easier time than Mr. DeSantis had with his Twitter Spaces, so we're glad about that. But we're also glad to have you along for the ride. So we can't do this without you, literally, because you actually tell us what to talk about. It's that simple. You can do that by following us on our feeds on Facebook and Twitter. Facebook.com/ThisIsAConversationProject and Twitter.com/TH_conversation. And as you check out our feeds, well, we post these news stories every 50 minutes, headlines from various places. You just engage in the stories. The more you like, love, hate, and share the stories, the better engagement it gets, obviously, and the better chance we have of talking about it to the next day. The next day, this year day being Friday, to wrap the week up for another grand week. I want to remind all of y'all out there to stay hydrated, stay limber and on task. All those things are to make sure you are doing what you can to be here, literally existing, doing what you can to live on the very, very, very long task of staying alive. That's it. Do what you can to not die, stay alive, so you can be here to celebrate wine day or whatever day we're doing to enjoy yourselves. I enjoy each and every one of you and enjoy getting a chance to do this for you. Stop by our website, and if you think we're doing some good stuff, consider the partnerships page. In the meantime, we've got news stories posting now, news stories posting all day, news stories posting all night, and one more show to do to wrap the week up. So let's get to a grand week. Enjoy your Thursday, and love you much. Do it again tomorrow morning.